So a few days ago, I launched ads on one of my new stores, and in a matter of 3 days, I was able to break almost $1,000 in revenue, which is quite a lot considering it was only day 3 of testing ads. We hadn't even figured out exactly which ad sets were going to be performing well, and it was already almost hitting $1,000 a day. So in this video, I'm going to walk you guys through how to structure your campaigns, your ad sets, your ad creatives, and what to expect when you run ads, how to analyze if the data is good, like if your click-through rate is good, if your cost per click is good, if all that stuff is good, or if it's bad, what the reasoning is, or if you're getting a lot of clicks and no purchases, or if your ads are inconsistent. I'll mention that stuff at the end. But we're going to get into my computer right now, so before we do, be sure to smash the like button and click subscribe below because I am posting dropshipping content every single day. Now that that is out of the way, let's get into my computer and go over this. Okay, so $0 to $1,000 a day in 3 days, dropshipping with Facebook ads. This is not with influencer marketing. This is purely Facebook ads. Now, before we get into like how I structured everything, understand your website has to be set up properly if you're going to get a good conversion rate and have a lot of purchases. You will not get a lot of purchases if you have a small 1-sentence description on your product page and then you have no questions answered that potential consumers have. You need to answer basically all the questions potential consumers have for this product, or else, again, they won't buy your product, which is rule number 1. So that's why a lot of people get traffic and then no sales. Now that you have that understanding, just again, make sure your product page is set up well. I have videos on that. But how do you structure your campaign? So for my example, I do one CBO. It's $50 to $100 per day, dependent on your budget. So if you have a lower budget, I would suggest doing $50 a day. I started this store with $50 a day and it worked well. It doesn't really matter. Obviously it does, but I'm fine with doing $50 a day. If you guys have a bigger budget, you can do 100, but I don't like wasting a lot of money. So if the product isn't going to work, I'll know in a day whether it's $50 or $100. I'll still get an understanding if it is performing well. And then bid strategy, just lowest cost per conversion. I really don't do anything complex with that. I don't think it's necessary when you're cold testing interests. And then you can just title the campaign really whatever you want. Stay organized with your campaigns because a lot of people have been talking on YouTube about like how you scale with a few campaigns and you just increase the budget crazy amounts. Like you have CBOs where you're doing like $500 a day CBOs, but it's very simple to just scale a product to like 5 to 10 grand a day with tons of $50 a day campaigns. And if you have, let's just say 5 to 10 campaigns that are all doing $50 to $100, then you need to have them organized. So just make sure you're titling them something that is easy for you to understand and remember, and makes it easy to go through them and analyze them. So that is how I structure my campaign. It's not really too complicated. So the next thing is how to structure your ad sets. So what I do is just 10 ad sets in one campaign. Each ad set will have one interest, meaning you'll have 10 different interests across all of your ad sets. So if you guys need me to just simplify that, if you have 10 ad sets, you have one single interest in each ad set, and they're all different. So I've had people who thought I meant like 10 different interests, and there are just 10 different interests in each ad set. No, it's one single interest. They're all different in the 10 ad sets. So that's how you structure that. And your reach, personally, I do 100,000 minimum, maybe even 50,000 if it's super laser targeted audience, but I normally do like 100,000 to upwards of 30 million. Obviously, I'll go higher. I really don't care. The potential reach is sort of important as long as it's not like 1,000. And one thing I used to do, I used to test out minimum spend per ad set. I normally did that, but now I don't. I just let Facebook do all of the heavy lifting. It's just easier that way. And it's been performing well for me, so I don't really see any need to change it. Okay, I'm editing the video I just filmed for you guys, and I realized I didn't mention what I run my campaigns and ad sets for. I do campaigns straight for conversion. I do my ad sets direct for purchase. I never do like add to cart, then initiate checkout, then purchase. That just doesn't make any sense to me to run an ad set or an ad in general at anything other than what you want it to do, because it will optimize for other stuff. There are a lot of people on Facebook who add stuff to cart but don't purchase. I'm an example. I add stuff to cart so I can get retargeted and stuff for other ads from competitors or from just other dropshippers. So that's what I do. I just do straight conversion and then purchase. It's very simple. Now that that's out of the way, let's get back into structuring your ad sets. For gender and age, unless it's a specific women product or men product, change that. If not, then just leave all that stuff open. So it's going to be 18 to 65 plus, men and women. And then obviously for the language, make sure you select English only, because that's a no-brainer, unless you're selling to like some random country like Brazil or Pakistan and you're doing a foreign language, then select that one obviously. And then locations, for myself, with the results I've just explained to you, 0 to 3, almost $1,000 in 3 days, that was with just US. So I could have probably done more sales if I did like worldwide or more countries, but I just want to focus on providing value to the US, and also I want to have fast shipping times that are consistent. So I'm getting shipping from, I think it's like 5 to 6 day shipping right now from China via DHL Express. So I'm doing that, and that's awesome because I don't really have to manage much with shipping. Like it's all a constant it's normally like 5 days. It's all a constant 5 days shipping. So it's not really too big of a deal. I don't have any disputes because someone's waiting for like 20 days to get their product. So it's very easy to manage. Now, the biggest thing when you're running ads is think of so many different angles when you're trying to target this product and target interest for the product, because the last thing you want to do is just have 10 of the similar interests. You want to make sure you're going at the product at tons of different angles. So no matter what you're selling, you just always need to be creative, because a lot of angles work and a lot of angles don't. An example of different angles, so I'm using a blue snowball microphone. I'm using this to film YouTube content. So you can get targeted with YouTube, like if that's an interest, you can target YouTube. You can target someone who sings, or someone who does ASMR, or someone who does TikToks. There are a lot of different angles you can go at this product with, rather than just doing like YouTube, filming, content creation, professional filming, movie, stuff like that. You can go at it with different angles, or you can target like radio stations. Target a ton of stuff when you're selling this and figure out what works, because once you figure out an angle that works, you can do a few things. One of the cool things you can do is create ad creatives that are laser focused on that specific targeting or on that angle. So if radio stations are crushing it, then you create an ad for that microphone, and you're like, hey, this is the top #1 radio station microphone that's being used right now, and it's 50% off. Get yours now. Something like that, and then that will convert way better because it's extremely targeted, and they're kind of just like, look, we get who you are, and you should buy this mic, rather than just saying like, this microphone is good for this, and this. You get really focused as to what you're selling and who you're selling it to. So that's why I like testing a lot of different angles. But that's pretty much how I structure my ad sets. It's very simple. Now, the big part of running ads is having good creatives. I used to take other people's creatives and use them, and that is a no-go anymore. I used to even tell people to do it, but it's not good. Here's why. Your click-through rate is going to be down, and it's going to be terrible simply because this is probably a video other people have seen before. Normally, if you're using someone else's creative, you aren't that creative in itself, and you're using the same interests that other people are using, and you're not really thinking outside of the box, which is going to have you, again, hitting the same audience, giving the same people the same video ad, and then they're just going to be bored of the video. So if you want a better click-through rate and you want more purchases, I strongly recommend getting custom creatives. It increases your conversion rate and your click-through rate, and it makes a whole lot of sense because you'll have a branded video and it works way better. So I don't really see a downside. Normally, when I am testing ad sets, I always test 2 to 3 just because I prefer giving Facebook a little bit of option when they're running, obviously when they're spending my budget, and then when they're testing creatives. So they're going to give impressions to all of your creatives and sort of figure out which one is going to get you the best click-through rates and stuff like that. And then you can go on and analyze, oh, okay, actually Creative 3 is working way better than Creative 1 one has a 2% click-through rate, one has a 7% click-through rate, so I'm going to turn off Creative 1, or maybe Creative 1 works just well on like 2 ad sets, but then other ad sets it's working terribly. So maybe the creatives work well for certain interests and some don't. So that's why I test other creatives, because it allows Facebook to give you the best possible outcome. And then when you're writing the caption or the text for your ad, keep it very simple. I like to just do a hook. So if I'm selling like this microphone, is your audio quality bad, or like do you need a better mic or something like that? Obviously, I don't really know if those comply with the terms. I'm just spitballing, but or like this is the best mic for this purpose, and then you list out like benefits or something along those lines. So if you're selling a tripod for a camera, do you have a hard time holding your camera up, or like do you need to simplify your camera life or your photo shooting life? I don't know, something like that. And then you basically list out the benefits of the product, and then 50% off here, get yours here. Something simple like that works really well. You don't need to overcomplicate it. It's not really too difficult. Just again, highlight, like give them a hook and then highlight the key points of the product and then offer them a link. Very simple. You essentially have to explain why this product is missing, like why they are missing out on not having this product, and why their life would be basically so much better with the product in their life. Once you like get that down, it's very simple. Now this brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is Top Notch Ads. So this is the place where I get all of my custom creatives now. I used to just pay some dude on Fiverr, but I didn't really have a personal relationship with them. But this guy reached out to me, who owns the Top Notch Ads. And he's like, yo, Seb, I have a great system in place that can create extremely good ads for you at an affordable cost for your subscribers and stuff. So we'd love to send you out a creative and see how it performs. So these results are from the store that I'm talking about that went 0 to 1K a day in 3 days. Look at our click-through rates for these ad sets. This is a 7.26, 8.16, and a 6.22 click-through rate. The ROAS is nuts, a 6.69. This one has, I believe, what does it have? This one has 2 purchases at $12.50 for $840 sale price. That is our purchase conversion value. That is nuts, and I have not seen these click-through rates ever in my life with any of my other ads. So I recommend you guys check out Top Notch Ads. If you send them all of your, oops, we just got a sale. Hey, that's a $300 sale right there. That's freaking lit. I freaking like the dopamine rush when you get a sale is like no other. It's pretty nice. So, like I was saying though, Top Notch Ads, hey, they made me that sale right there. They are great. They literally will make you a video in 1 to 3 days. So I personally go on their website and I submit my products and stuff just like you guys will if you buy their package. And then, yeah, in like 1 to 3 days, they'll send you your video. They also will give you a free 24-hour edit period. So if you have any questions or you need anything adjusted, like let's say you want to change the font or something, or the background music, or the logo placement, like you want to do it in the middle and semi-transparent, or the left corner, or something like small or big, or like you don't like the starting clip, they can change that for you for free for 24 hours. So extremely valuable, and they are crushing it with my ads. Like they are doing an extremely good job. I gave them a product that I didn't think they're like, I thought they were going to say, oh, sorry, we can't make the video, because it's a product that is not really being sold right now much. Like I'm one of the only people selling it, and they found so much content for the product still. I really don't know how. So I strongly recommend you guys check out Top Notch Ads. They do amazing custom creatives, and they're super friendly. So if you guys do want to check them out, I'll have a link in the description with a custom discount code that will give you guys a certain percentage off of your checkout. And again, I recommend doing 2 to 3 creatives and testing them out, because you will get a good click-through rate. Like this click-through rate is actually unreal. I'm not saying that just because I'm promoting the website. I'm certain like this click-through rate is nuts, and I didn't want to promote them until I'd actually tested out the ads, because I didn't want to be like a sellout. But I can now confidently say that this website does know what they're doing, and they do know how to create great ads. So again, if you guys want to check them out, Top Notch Ads. Now let's get on to the next slide. So once you've been running ads for a few days, what should you expect? After 2 days, if you don't have sales, that's sort of a bad sign. Like it's right now, I started ads on the 23rd, so it's now the 27th, so we're on day 4, and I've already generated almost $2,000 in sales. So you should definitely see sales by the time you're on day 2. If not, you should at least see some initiate checkouts. Now, if your add to cart level is low, so an example I wrote in this slide, if you have 200 clicks, no add to carts, think logically. Why would people click on the ad and then just suddenly not even add to cart? It's normally because your offer, which means your price is way too high, or your website is just set up extremely bad. Maybe there's some crazy big error on your website, but most of the time it's the offer. If the product is way too expensive, no one's going to add it to cart, because again, it is too expensive. So that is the solution for a lot of clicks, but no add to carts. Now, if after 3 days you still don't have any sales, and let's just say you're doing $50 a day budget on one campaign, that's $150 to test the product. And by that time, it should have generated you sales, at least one. If not, I would strongly suggest you hop out of that product and test another one, because you don't want to get emotional with the product. So I tested 2 stores this week because I wanted to. I found a few products and seemed like they were doing well. We tested one that we thought was going to work really well. We both launched them on the 23rd, and the one product that I thought was going to do well did well, and then another one that I thought was going to do well didn't actually do really well. So instead of like trying to make a product work that wasn't really selling, I just simply turned the ads off, scrapped scrapped the store, and now I'm scaling one of the products that is working. It's very simple, but a lot of people do tend to waste time and get really emotional with the product. Once you can learn to systemize how you run your ads and how you run your stores, you will make a lot more money and you will be more efficient with your time. So how I do it is I basically say, okay, I'm going to test these 3 products, and I know one of them has to be a winner because I'm personally really good at finding products. So I'll test all 3 of them, get custom creatives, see how they perform. After a day or 2, if I don't really get any sales for either of the products, like let's say one is working well, the other 2 aren't, I'll just like scrap the 2 and then focus in on the first one, upgrade the website, make it look way better. And then I'll add chat, like a live chat on your website. I'll add a phone line where someone can actually pick up the phone and call us. And then I will see if that store still performs well. And then we'll let the budget run and let the campaign run at the same budget for around a week. If it's still performing well and getting us consistently profitable sales, then we will go out and increase budget maybe 20% or 30%, even 10 to 20%. You don't ever want to increase your budget like double, because you normally will break your ads and they just will not perform well. It's like trying to, like, imagine if you work at a grocery store, okay? And you're taking out like $10 a day out of the register, okay? Or let's just say $100, okay? So grocery stores generate a lot of money, and if you take out $100, I'm sure they're not going to notice. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying, like, think about how this is I think this is a good example. So if you suddenly triple that and you start taking out $300, you're more likely to get caught, and it's not likely to work anymore unless you just gradually increase it. Now, again, this is just for like educational purposes. I'm not saying to steal money from a grocery store. I'm just simply saying when you're running Facebook ads and you're giving them $50 a day to run your ads, and then you overwhelm them, you're like, look, take $500 and run the ads. They're going to be like, holy shit, we knew what to do with 50, but like 500, we'll spend the money because like you're giving it to us, but we probably won't get you profitable sales. That's just not how they work. So just be sure to increase your budget gradually, and you'll do well. And then one point that I did want to touch on before I wrap this video up, some people had the question as if your ads are performing fair and then they just like taper off, what's the cause of that? So here's the thing you have to understand. Facebook is a bidding platform. It's not like you're just running ads and then Facebook takes your ads and puts them out there. Like, yes, they do, but people are bidding for these purchases. So it's very complex. Let's just say there are 2 companies selling wallets. I mentioned this in the last video. So this company has great ads. They're testing, 3 creatives. They have a great landing page that loads fast, and they have a great conversion rate. Okay, so they're getting like, let's just say a 10% conversion rate, which is really good. So they have this high conversion rate and these ads that are performing well. And then there's a new guy, like one of you guys who's watching that's never done dropshipping. You launch a store selling a knockoff product that's just like this, and you're running the same. You take the same video and you run ads for them. And let's say you get a few sales, okay? Like Facebook gives you a few sales, and you're like, okay, this is working decent. And then they realize that your conversion rate is bad and that you are not, again, converting as many sales, and maybe the customers are leaving bad reviews on your Facebook page. Facebook takes note of that. So if you're getting bad reviews on your Facebook page, Facebook will actually take that and ding your ads. Like, they will literally throttle the performance back and make them not perform as well until you fix those reviews. And then again, tie that up with your conversion rates and with your click-through rate and all that stuff. If it's not performing well, Facebook is like, I'll give this traffic to someone else that is going to value it and get better conversions out of it. Because again, I want to make sure, this is in Facebook's eyes, Facebook wants to make sure that they're giving the same amount of traffic to the right people. So if someone can convert, again, 1 in every 10 visits rather than 1 in every 100, they would much rather give it to the 1 in every 10 visits to make them both more money and keep the customers satisfied. So that's sort of how it works. But obviously, someone like, if I'm running ads and I have a $10 a day cost, or $10 cost per purchase, and then someone comes in and outbids me and is like, well, I'll spend $30 on that, then they can spend more money on the purchase and hypothetically outbid you, causing your ads to not really perform that well. So that is kind of what can happen. There are a lot of factors that go into it. I would strongly suggest, if you guys don't understand how Facebook works, like, read up on their website and understand like what all that stuff is, and like what learning limited is, and why ads stop performing, why ads do perform well. All that stuff is good to understand because it helps you run ads in the future. But that is going to wrap it up for this Facebook testing strategy video. Hope you guys got massive value from this video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, click subscribe below, because I'm posting every single day and grinding out content for you guys. Now, other than that, if you have any questions or concerns or future video recommendations, be sure to drop those in the comment section below. But other than that, I again hope you guys did enjoy this video and got value. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.